Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. Glad you guys returned. Here is another video of Ariel's photo shoot from the other day. I took these also on April the 28th with my Canon 60D with my 18 to 135mm lens. This was outdoors. It was a overcast day. This is earlier part of the day. These here are raw as they are out of the camera. I went ahead and reset all the corrections I've done previously. Figured we go through these together. That way you can see how I edited these. So let's get into it here. Let's go ahead and go over into our develop module here. Right out of the camera you can see here my first three pictures here. These are a little dark. This is when I was first setting my settings on my camera. But where I shot these in raw, we can bring all this detail back. But first, let's go down here and fix our profile. I did use the calibration option on this, and I went ahead and I've got this saved already. We go ahead and enable this already, so it automatically will adjust our colors for us here. Let's go ahead and select the rest of these and go ahead and synchronize these settings here for our calibration. Let's go ahead and pop up here, select all of them for our go ahead and do our lens correction also right fast. Go ahead and enable our profile corrections and remove chromatic aberrations and constrain our crop. We select our profile, which it done that when I went ahead and selected corrections. Let's go ahead and synchronize these also. So you're going to apply that correction to all the pictures. Now let's go back up to our basic tab. We can calibrate, we can fix these in different ways if we want to. Most of the time I will start off just by pushing the auto button, just see what it will do to it by itself. It does do a pretty decent job of auto correcting. It's a little bright, but usually you want a little bit on the brighter side when you print these off because you're on a backlit monitor. Let's go through here and adjust our whites. You hold the alternate key down and you can see your which is absolute white, which is absolute black. There's the whites. Just leave it at +10. Let's go ahead into our blacks. That looks good on blacks. Play with your sliders. You know, slide them one way, slide them to the other. Just see what they would do. Some people like darker shadows. We can really bring these shadows up. You also can zoom in if you so wish and zoom out. If you want to bump your colors up, you can go through and do your clarity. Your clarity will, you see, it has everything. If you go to the plus side, if you go to the minus side, it does blur everything. We may put just a little bit of clarity in, not too much, about 10. The vibrance is the same way. You can really throw it and really pops the colors, or you can pull it the other way. Double click it, puts it to 0. Let's go ahead and put about 10 also in vibrance. Saturation, you can do it the same way. Slow it one way or the other. If you do it to the minus, you're in black and white. If you go way over it, colors are really blown out. Of course it does bring out a lot of color, so we're going to go back down to, let's just go ahead and pop it up to about 10 also. We won't mess with the temperature or tint on these. We won't mess with the tone curve. We could, but we won't mess with it. If we wanted to bring on any certain colors, we could. If you really wasn't sure what you wanted to bring out, let's say we wanted to tone this down, we can click this and it'll bring a little crosshair up. You can click on and hold your button down and bring your mouse to the left, and you, I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but it will make some adjustments. Looks like on the red and the orange to bring it down a little bit. If we bring it the other way, it'll bring those colors the other way. See, it's really affecting everything now. It's got red and orange in it. Let's bring that back the other way. Really won't mess with this too much off the bat. Let's go on down here. Split toning, we won't do anything on split toning right now. Details, this does show up, you know, if you want to, it does a zoom in of on your picture, you can see the details on it. If you want to do some sharpening here, you can really go to the extreme. You either pick a little small radius on your sharpening, or you can go big and go large on your sharpening. We're just going to leave that as default at this time. We done our lens correction profile already, so we won't have to mess with that again. And our effects. Our effects is really nice. If you wanted to go through and put a vignette on this, you could. You can go through to your amount. If you do the highlight priority, you can go through and put a little vignette in it. You can see how much you want it for. You can play with your roundness, and you can feather this if you want it feathered a whole lot, or if you want it real sharp. And you also, if you want to, you can put you can also do your highlights also on this one, but it doesn't seem too much different than the highlights, so we just leave that as it is. And you also can put grain back into the picture also. You can go to the extreme if you so wish. You also can control the size also, and your roughness. You can really go to the extreme, as you can see here. You won't go that way though. We'll put these back as default. You can get some presets. There is some presets that do come with Lightroom, and you also can add your own. This here I can do a aged photo. If I select the aged photo, and make it look like it's a aged photo, really makes it black. You got your bleach bypass. You can select it. You got cold tone, goes to the coders, and cross process. You got 1, 2, there's your green, there's your blue. Just like a mix of both. Got direct positive, old polar. You got a yesteryear color, and you got an aged photo copy. We won't use none of those. We go back through our history folder here, and we scroll back up to where we didn't do any of those. Let's go back over to our grain process. Go through here and make sure we reset our grain. Yeah, it's reset. That way we won't throw any grain into it, and it undoes all the other previous ones we went through. Let's go back up and minimize our history. If I wanted to go strictly into a black and white, I can do either a preset, or I can go ahead and hit black and white here on the black and white tab, and it turns it into a black and white photo. This is a non-destructive on this. It is still the original files in color, so we can do, if you shot this in black and white, then you can't make it color, so it's in black and white. You also have some black and white filters up here too we can use if we so wish. You got blue filter, blue high contrast, you got green, infrared, orange, red. You can go through all those, but do play with them. And you also, like I said before, you can get all kinds of filters. There is some I do have some Canon filters on here. I've done enabled the profile on here already, but I can't override those. I believe my Canon camera is set on faithful. If I select it, it will change the color palette on there a little bit. We undo that. We want to keep it on our other part. We got HDR looks, got a light, medium, and strong. I can either, where I shot this in RAW, I do have more HDR control. If you did JPEG, this control is limited on how you do HDR. Usually HDR, you can do 3 or more images and it will automatically combine those together. Let's see. Let's go on to the next one here. This next, because this is still one of the pictures I didn't have my settings dialed in yet. Let's just go ahead and pop this as an auto exposure also. Tone this down just a little bit. That's real nice. I like that. Let's just go ahead and let's go back a page here and let's hit copy. Go through and we just copy these adjustments over so that looks like. Really didn't do too much to it, don't look like. Did he not copy? Oh, that's because I didn't do nothing to that picture. Okay. Let's try it again. We undid it, I guess, when we went backwards or something there, so that's okay. We re-edited it. No matter how many times you edit a picture, you will never edit it the same way unless you write down the exact settings you used before. It's the only way, because it's going to be different every time you edit it. Which is good. There we go. Let's go ahead and copy all those adjustments we've done in the previous picture. Let's go ahead and apply them. I'd also cropped into this picture before. I didn't reset that crop, but we'll crop into it now. Gives you where it will behave here. There he goes. There we go. Let's go over to the next one here. Here she's walking away. If you don't know where this location is at, this is down in Big Stone Gap, down next to where the town hall's at. This is where the loop trail is at. It's next to the river. You got the parking lot here on the side. This is where we took these at. Let's just go ahead and hit auto here and see what it does. Yeah, that's pretty good. Let's check our whites and our black balance here. It looks pretty good. Bring the shadows up just a little bit. Highlights down just a little bit. Let's go ahead and pop it up on 10 on everything. Making the colors pop a little bit. Okay, let's just go ahead and just do the previous settings here and just see what it looks like. Let's see the before. You can do your backslash key and it will show you your before, and then there's your after. It looks pretty good. This one here, the wind was blowing a little bit and that blew her cap off. She didn't know I took this picture. This is a little candid picture. The candid pictures are usually really nice to take if you can take them. It shows a lot of times they're more relaxed and they really ain't concentrating on trying to keep their eyes open or smile. It's just them being themselves. Let's go ahead and hit that previous also. And let's see what we're going to do. Here's her mother helping her put her cap on. Let's go ahead and select the remaining of these and go ahead and synchronize. Just go ahead and apply this to all of them. There we go. Let's go over and select none. There we go. Let's see if it copied over. For some reason it did not copy over. Let's try it again. Sometimes that copy paste is weird, sometimes it's not. Let's try it again. There we go. Didn't hold my mouth right. There's your before and after. Sometimes the before looks better than the after, but you also got to remember when you print these off, it's nice to have them a little bit brighter than normal than what you're used to seeing, because they will print a little darker. So these here should print alright. Well, it's taking a little time to load. For some reason I'm getting a little bit of lag. That's okay. Here the ducks wanted to get involved, so we just let them do their thing. They was mostly hungry, so we throw some food down for them. They just came in and made themselves at home. This is a real nice picture of it also. And this one. Say you wanted to try some different settings but didn't want to erase the ones you had. You can select your picture and do your right click on your mouse button. You can create a virtual copy of this picture. What it does is it makes an actual copy of it. You don't actually copy the picture itself, it just copies all the data that you used to edit the picture with. And you can see here that's copy 1 and here's the original. Let's say we really wanted to do this one as a black and white, so we can do this one as a black and white and go up here in our black and white presets and go through. We can do a high contrast, do low contrast. We can do the different types of looks. On this one, let's see, we want black and white toned presets. Let's go into that. We can do the antique color, which is real nice. You got antique light, cream tone, selenium tone, sepia. I always like the sepia picture. Let's go ahead and select that. That's a real nice picture. Let's go down here and put a vignette on this picture also. Let's go down here to our effects. Yeah, we can go through and do a black vignette, but where's this black one already? Let's go to the white side and go to the other side and put a white vignette on just a little bit. Let's change our midpoints to mostly the edges. We want it like an old timey photo type thing with the had like light leaks on your camera. Let's really feather that, make it nice and there we go. And now I have both copies of this, and so when I do export these, I'm gonna print this one as the main number, and this can have like a copy 1 or extra on it, and it was still, then it would become a picture. This very last picture was her. She wanted this and take special. This is a tribute to her papa. He passed away here not too long ago, and she really wanted him to be involved in her graduation, so she made this cap in remembrance of him. Thought that was extra nice. She really enjoyed it. Enjoyed making it and wearing it. If you'd watched the previous video, which I'll put a link on this one, I did a slideshow of some pictures we took at growing branch. I will probably do the same thing to this one also, but I won't do it now. I'll do it later after I do this video. So I do hope you guys did enjoy this editing job here. If you have any questions, feel free to list them below. And also, there's a reminder of our Patreon page. If you so wish to support us there, please follow the link in the description, and it will take you right to the page. You don't have to support the page, but if you feel led to, it would be much appreciated. I've got some goals and stuff listed there before. Any questions, feel free to let us know. And as always, I thank you guys for watching, and have a wonderful day.